We wanted to talk about those two topics, and I figured why not start with, one that Veronica and I just disagree with. So
why not just start off on a heated debate?
Let's debate this right now. I'll give you my points, and then we'll talk about why mine are better.
I knew you were going to say that. I was going to say it. Then we'll talk about why I'm right.
Chemical X.
All right. Okay, you ready for this one? And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey guys, welcome back to the Chemical X podcast. My name is Alessia. I am not a cougar, but I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Veronica, and since I just turned 26, I guess I'm part of the cougar age now, so I might as well start dressing the part.
Guys, don't forget to like, follow, subscribe, comment down below. Do all that. We appreciate you guys, and we absolutely love to hear from you. It makes, this podcast a little more fun, relatable, and we share experiences all together. So
you're just going to steal my line and not give me any heads up? They're going to just
I just
take my
figured
script?
like you're already stealing the show with your outfit.
So you got to compensate.
Exactly.
So guys, another week, another episode. We are in the new year. We may or may not have taken a break before this episode. It just depends how it all works out. So like if we did, welcome back. If not,
hello.
Here we are again. And this week we have some pretty interesting topics. So we're going to dive into 2 juicy topics. First one being dating multiple men at the same time. That was crazy. Second one, we are going to talk about traveling when you're single versus traveling when you're in a relationship.
Veronica, how could they be different? Isn't it the same thing?
And you're single, bitch. That's what all the single people think.
I'm totally fucking with you. They're very different, guys.
You're like, if my man is listening, my future man.
No. Traveling single and traveling, guys, in a relationship, let's be real.
Very different.
Is very different. And also traveling with friends who are single and you're not.
in a relationship?
And you're in a relationship.
Woo!
I mean, go.
I mean,
I don't
honestly,
know I don't know how much fun you're gonna have, but go.
I mean, all your friends are gonna hate you by the end of it, but go.
So yeah, we're gonna kind of dive into those 2 topics. But first, we're going to talk about... I feel like we should have a segment where we're like, let's dive in. And we put like water and like...
Can we do a video where we have like the bathing caps and like the suits? And like when we say like, let's dive right in, it just plays. That would be amazing.
So yeah, we wanted to talk about those 2 topics. And I figured why not start with, one that Veronica and I just disagree with. So
why not just start off on a heated debate?
Let's debate this right now. I'll give you my points, and then we'll talk about why mine are better.
I knew you were going to say that. I was going to say it. Then we'll talk about why I'm right.
Actually, at your birthday, you said something from far, and then I said it, and you're like, did you just say what I said? Shows we have a fucking podcast together.
We say recently, we say so many things at the same time.
I know.
Don't remember what it was, but it was something.
Anyways, this won't be at the same time because we do not agree on this.
Sometimes you just don't see eye to eye.
Eye to eye. And that's fine. That's totally fine. And that's why I'm single. And
that's why I'm keeping chemical and she's keeping X. See you later.
So when it comes to dating, just
in case you try to put it in, Alessia loves.
I think that no, I can't.
There's no joke that's funnier than one from like 9 years ago. Like that still just slaps.
Do I say what it is? Because I could just block out the name. So guys, growing up, whenever I was taking videos of my friends and they were like, you're not posting that, the one way they would stop me from posting is they would come in and say like, Alessia loves, and it was like a crush I had. So like obviously after that I'm cock blocked and I can't post the video, and it's like everything I would do they would throw that in there and then the video would be useless.
So I just said something that was like, we have to cut it out, and I was like, just in case you try to put it in, and I pulled out the good old Alessia loves.
Beep.
Beep. I can say it.
Veronica, now you're testing the waters.
We have that censor button. You can use it.
Yeah. Making me do more work. By the way, it's us who edit, just so you know. So guys, we wanted to talk about, when you're dating, do you basically put your eggs all in one basket because that's what Veronica wants to do? Or do you want to, explore? I'm really making you
100%, eh? Manipulation's fine. I'm a manipulative co-host.
So I was listening to this woman who was talking on TikTok. She was basically saying how you should never put all your eggs in one basket.
It's a new year, which, some people, for them, it's a new them. I'm going to be the same old stupid bitch, but whatever. But if you're looking to be a new you and that new you is fashionable, trendy, bougie, and you want to get some cute jewelry to, kick off the new year, then you got to check out Every Jewels because they have everything that you're looking for. They have so many cute jewelry pieces from rings, anklets, name necklaces, all kinds of personalized jewelry. They even have phone cases, tote bags, just a bunch of stuff. So go check them out if you want to get glitzed up. And also we have a discount code for you.
You go on to Every Jewels and you put in our discount code ChemicalX at checkout to receive 20% off your entire order. So guys, get stacking. She was talking about when women are dating men, they should never close themselves off to one person they're talking to, because a lot of the times when we only speak to one guy, we'll kind of give them all of us and they'll start to kind of sense that we're needy. And then that'll kind of give them the vibration that like we're coming off too strong.
Right.
And from that, they'll kind of just like distance themselves. And then you're going to have like high expectations for this one person that you're talking to. And you're going to be kind of wanting all of them through like just that one person.
Right. Like when you need validation or attention or whatever, you're always going to be seeking
You're always going to be seeking it from that one person. Right. And I feel like I've lived a life pretty much where I don't put my eggs all in one basket. And I'm very open to the idea of many people, I mean, the way that sounds, I'm just open to the idea of like speaking to multiple guys. I've always been. I feel like in order for me to actually settle down and like be with one person, I would have to be getting like the same energy reciprocated, and they'd be having to really call for me and be like, I want to be with you. This is how I feel. And then at that point on, I'll be like, okay, like they're giving all of them to me. Like now I'm ready to like fully commit and be serious to this person.
Right.
But I think until then, it's a playing field, and I don't know, I'm going to get what I want from each guy until I find the guy who's giving me what I want.
Right. And something interesting that she also said, you're like, do you agree with me or not? What the fuck?
Well, no, but I think there's parts of it that you could agree with. And then
something that she also said was like basically how when you are putting all your like focusing only on one person, you tend to make excuses for like maybe things that they're lacking.
Yeah.
Because you're just like so focused on that one person, so you're not seeing like what some other people might have, like some positive traits that some other people might have. Yeah. So that's another thing too, for sure.
And girls will do that. It's like we'll talk to somebody and then all of a sudden the things we don't like about them, we'll kind of just like turn a blind eye to and be like, well, whatever, he has this, and this. But I feel like when you're talking to multiple people, you're seeing great traits from many men. Many men. So you're able to be like, well, Joe has this, but Nick has that.
It's always Joe and Nick. Bring Kevin. What? Kevin is the forgotten Jonas brother. It's actually crazy.
I mean, where's the lie there? Like I was always into Nick growing up, and then I changed to Joe for a bit. There was never a Kevin.
Never a Kevin in the picture.
So I'm going to keep talking about Joe and Nick, okay?
Okay.
Well, there could be Joe, Nick, and Kevin because we never said how many people you're talking to.
True.
But yeah, so I honestly really agree with it. I think that look, it could get a bit lonely if you're not getting really anything from any of them. And then it's kind of just like you're talking. It can be very like you feel very empty because you're talking to a bunch of people and it's like not going anywhere. But it also depends the state you're in and how you're going about it.
Right. So my point of view, and while I do agree with like the ideology behind it, I'm just going to talk for myself personally and how I feel. But like there are a couple of things that I disagree with. So first of all, in the past, I'm somebody that like it's very hard to even get my attention in the first place. Like you're
saying to get my attention, it's easy.
No, I'm saying like
Fine.
I'm saying like I don't, and like I'm sure you can attest to this. It's like I don't really care about anyone.
Yeah.
But when there is somebody that comes around that,
Yeah.
when there is somebody that comes
You
around
slap
that
them around?
that I'm interested in, it's because they actually tick a lot of boxes for me. So it has to be like a specific person that can come around and get my attention. And to even have one person to get my attention takes so much. So by the time that actually happens, I am only focused on that one person because I don't really care about anyone else in general. Like,
Okay.
I'm not the type of person that I like to date around and give
But this
people
is,
my
I'm
attention.
talking at the beginning stage when
Yeah,
you're
like
not
just
like
chatting.
really, yeah.
But like I'll like, but even that, like I don't care enough to chat with somebody if I don't off the bat know that I could have a vibe with you. So, and I know right away if I'm gonna like someone and if I'm not. So yeah, there's been times in my life where I've been like, you know, talking to multiple people at once, but like nothing was serious and like, you know, it wasn't really going beyond like just like chatting. But like even at that, it takes so much energy for me to even talk to one
No,
person.
for sure. It's a
let
lot of
alone-
energy.
And like when I'm only focused on one person, that's when I can truly like be interested in them. If I'm talking to multiple people, I actually am interested in none of them. And I don't know how to explain it. It's just like I'm not taking anyone seriously. Whereas if I'm just like being like taking a step back and not investing my energy in anyone, when there is somebody that comes around, I'm ready to give them my full attention. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's why I tend to be like that. And it's mostly from a place of like attention span because I don't care. I don't like to be talking with people. I know there's a lot of people, like I have some friends that like do like to message and talk and love like that kind of thing. It's not something that I've ever liked. Like, yeah, when I'm single, I love to like flirt and stuff. But like even more than just like a one night flirt, like I'm so over it. I have no like attention span for it. And not only that, but like I'm the type of person where when I'm interested in you, I'm very much so interested in you and I know right away if I'm gonna like you or not. So like I don't need to like see what other people have. It's like, no, I know I like you, so like let's see where this goes. And if this goes nowhere, then like I'll go back and like start over again. But like I'd rather give you all my attention. That way it's like I'm really giving it a chance. And I'm really seeing where it's going. And this is different from where I'm at now because like where I'm at now, it's like I want something serious. So it's like I'm gonna give you a chance.
For sure.
And like if it doesn't work out, then like no problem. I'm gonna go back.
But I don't think it makes you any less serious. Like from my point of view, I don't think it makes you any less serious or like wanting a relationship by talking to many people. Yeah. Like I think it's kind of just like you might have an idea of like what you want and what you're looking for, but sometimes you know how we always say like you want certain things out of certain people or like you thought you wanted something and then you realize like you don't need it anymore. I think when you're talking to many people, you start to really learn what you're like willing to be okay without.
Yeah.
Like what you really want. And then it kind of like, yeah, it can get a bit like overwhelming and like, hey, I'm not interested in anyone. And that's definitely been the case for me too. It's like, I stop answering. I'm very flaky. Like I'm just like, obviously there's always that one we like more, we connect with more. So I get you on that. But I do think that I don't believe someone should get all your attention just because it's like the beginning stage and we're talking. Like I'm not going to close off any doors to see where this goes until you reassure me that you're all in and that you're solidifying what we have.
Yeah. So I think that there's a fine timeline of when it's okay to date multiple people and then when you're doing yourself a disfavor. But I do think though on the thing of like seeing in a lot of people what you like, I find what you tend to do when you're talking to multiple people and giving everyone kind of a chance to prove themselves, you tend to like certain things in certain people, but because you're keeping it so surface level and just like giving a bit to everyone, you never get the chance to actually fully get to know that person and understand whether or not you like them. So then you find yourself in a place where it's like, okay, you're like looking at it so from like a point form type of view that you don't actually get to connect with that person and see really truly what you like about them because you're always kind of just like a little bit here, a little bit there. And I believe that you can't be connected with somebody unless they're connected with you. So like it's very hard to have a closer relationship and see if there's potential if you're very like from afar. But I think it's something that really works when you're just like very, very much so in the beginning, like I truly believe that, like, look, until we're exclusive and until we talk about being exclusive, I'm gonna move as if I'm maybe not gonna be like if something comes up, sure. However, I'm not gonna be like actively seeking out new things. Do you get what I'm saying? If I'm talking to someone,
Yeah.
I won't be seeking out new things. And if I like you, I tend to won't even be interested in anyone else. But I'm not closing myself off to, like, if somebody does come around and like I'm interested, I won't close myself off to like maybe
But
exploring that.
normally though you do, and you just don't admit to it. Like you're kind of just like, you know, in the back of your head you have your guy, and you don't realize you're closing the doors, but you are
Probably,
because
yeah.
you are because
Yeah.
you're like, I'm into this guy. So like whatever is really going through your mind, someone's talking to you, you're not fully actually giving them the time of day, because you're like, no, I like who I like.
Yeah.
So you are in a way closing the doors, and I think that's where I try and be like, well, no, like you kind of, and it's weird because we live in a world where it's like, you never know when it's like you're gonna meet the right person, and like who's gonna be the exact person that's like for you, because it's scary. It's like you always think like, I think when you know, but I think when you're dating around, you're always like, is there better? Is this what's the best option for me?
But that's what I find might put you in a bad mindset when you're constantly like meeting new people and like giving everyone kind of a chance. You're like, okay, I like this about you, I like this about you, I like this about you, and you're never.
But
like,
I don't give them a chance where it's like, sorry, we're gonna debate this out.
No, yeah, it's
I don't
fine.
give them a chance where it's like, oh, like I like this about them, like I'm gonna keep them around. Like you know that about me. It's like if I go on a date with you and I'm not feeling it, and I'm like, I don't see potential with you, it's done. So it's not so much where I'm like entertaining all these men. It's like, no, I'm just really open to like the same way we are with like experiences and stuff, just with like guys in general.
Yeah.
Like I'll go on a date and have like the best day with someone, but then I'll still go on another date and be like, okay, well, until until this actually goes somewhere and he fully, maybe it's just like a defense mechanism, as like, I don't want to close all my doors, give my full heart to someone and then realize in the end, like they fucked me over.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a little bit of that too, but I think it's always made me feel better. And I don't feel like I've spoken to several people and really dived in. Like it's not always been like surface level.
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying. It's like sometimes you don't give everybody everything. Which I think sometimes is a good thing, to not give everyone everything.
But what I'm saying is but what I'm saying also is like, when you're just looking like with so many people, like, because we're in like this instant gratification type of like culture, and like you always think, is there something better, is there something better, when you are giving so many people the time, like, and when I say a chance, I mean like, you know, checking out the option. When you are doing that with multiple people at the same time, it's like you're constantly comparing everyone, and then like, okay, but maybe I can find something better, but maybe I can find somebody that has this thing about this guy and this thing about this guy, and like yes, you will find your perfect person that ticks all your boxes and whatever, but I do think there is a lot of compromise when it comes to like getting into a serious relationship with somebody. So like always like going through a lot of people and at the same time can make you start to be like extremely picky in a sense, and like trying to build this perfect person out of all the qualities that you liked in a guy, but sometimes it's not about that.
And normally you end up going for a guy and you end up falling for someone who doesn't have all the qualities. So I don't think it's about finding all the qualities. I think it's just about knowing that until someone is fully ready to give themselves to you, you shouldn't be giving them all your attention.
Right.
I think that's what it's more like. I think, you could be talking to several people. You have your favorite, the one you actually want and want to settle down with. But like sometimes girls will, in that case, like the one they like and then just exclude all the other options because they're like, this is my guy. And then in the end, they find out that guy was never going to commit to them. And then they might have had a perfect guy that they just never really fully gave a chance to. So I think giving people a chance, if you are initially interested, is absolutely something you should do. And then if you meet them or if you're messaging them and you just feel like your values don't align, then ciao, it'll never be a thing. But I think sometimes naturally girls are very like, they'll close the door as soon as they feel like they met someone that could be good for them. And I think it's never worked well for me. And it's because it's like now I'm talking to like many people and I'm actually way happier than like that stage I was when I was like, I'll fully talking to one guy, I'll fully commit, because it's like then you're dealing with the uncertainty of like you feel like hateful to like you feel like I'm giving them all of me and like I don't even know where this is going. And like, I feel like I'm already doing so much on my end that person doesn't even fully know you're doing. And then in the end, you get hurt. And it's like, for what? Like, they never gave you what you wanted. So like, why are you closing off all these doors of people who were actually willing to give you what you wanted and you didn't fully give them the opportunity to?
But
So it's like,
it's all about how your mindset is and like how you personally feel good. Like there was like one stage where I was talking to like two people maybe at the same time, or maybe like three, I don't know.
Veronica, she's always been a baddie.
But like there was maybe one stage, and like I just what ended up happening was I didn't care about anyone,
And
or like I
happens
had
too.
the one guy I cared about, and like the other two people were just like when I wanted to pass time, but it didn't like make me feel good or make me feel better in the same way that it does for you, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
But for me, the way I feel is like I'm someone who I just naturally will prioritize somebody that I connect with, because I don't find that I don't connect with that many people.
When you're just walking around your neighborhood and you start looking at houses, you tend to look at their grass. And what's the house that you normally look at that you go, I'm interested in? It's always the ones that have their grass mowed.
100%. When the grass is nice and cleanly cut, it's always better on that side.
There's a lot more people coming to your door.
100%. And guys, if you don't know what we're talking about Manscaped. Because Manscaped is the best in below the waist grooming for men. So join the over 2 million men worldwide that are using Manscaped and keep your lawn mowed and keep it nice and clean. They have everything from ball deodorant, ball toner, the Lawnmower 4.0, which is the ball razor. They have a nose and ear hair trimmer, guys. They have everything to keep those girls coming to your door. Or boys, keep the boys coming too. But keep everyone ringing your doorbell.
And guys, there's no party without a discount code. So guys, use our discount code ChemicalX at checkout to receive 20% off and free shipping, guys. Ding dong, bitches.
So
Yeah.
when I do find it, and I know that we're going to get along because I have that sense, I like am open to it and will give you my attention, because I'm not giving attention to anyone else anyways. Like the way that I see it is, if it's not you, it's nobody. So it's not like, oh, if it doesn't work out with you, it's someone else. It's like, no. If it's not you, then I don't care. I'm going back to being by myself.
Yeah, no,
so
for sure.
When I have that mindset, it's like, yeah, I'm liking to give you my time and like having you prioritize. But like at the end of the day, I'm always my own priority. So like you're coming second. So even though, yeah, I'm spending my free time with you and I'm devoting all my free time to be with you, like when I do have something, it's going to go towards you because there's no one else on the roster. I still feel better that way, because I'm just like, well, I'm not like relying emotionally on you until we are committed. So I think that's where I'm like, I like you. I want to give you a chance. I want to give you my time. If it wouldn't work out, then like, that's fine. I'm going to go back to doing me. And like, if someone else comes around, someone else comes around.
Yeah.
But like, I just personally don't like to give attention to other people, because I just like, it's not for me. Like there's so many reasons I just don't care. Actually, I don't have the energy for it.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of my energy to even like someone or give them my free time. Like it takes a lot for even me to be going on dates with people.
Yeah, I think, no, for sure, like energy has to be saved for like the ones you want. And I'm talking even just
for
like
myself.
For sure. But I actually generally like enjoy it. And if it starts feeling like, oh, like, why am I answering? Then I know like I'm just like uninterested, and then it's done.
Yeah.
But like I do like the options for sure.
Yeah, and which I get. And at the beginning I am that way, but it has to be very much so like just talking. As soon as like we'd go on a date and I actually like can have a connection with you, then it's different for me. And I
see, that's where we're different.
Yeah,
like I can be like, that's the best date ever, but like, why would I stop everything else going on in my life and like be like, I had a connection with you? Because I truly believe like you can connect with more than one person, and there's many soulmates out there. So what if somebody's like your perfect soulmate and you connected with them, but they're not at the same place you are and they're not ready for that? Then you just like close yourself off for that. And then in the end, it's not actually who you're going to end up with. So like, why close until we're sure?
I mean, it's just an energy thing for me. Like I don't expect anything out of it, but I will see it through. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And I don't have any expectations. Maybe I have like a want, maybe like, okay, I would want to date you. But I just think that's not how it works for me. And also like I value also when somebody, and I'm not asking necessarily that someone's loyal to me in the talking stage. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying like, oh, block off all your options, cut everyone off, you know, cut off your whole roster.
Yeah.
Even the same for me. It's like, I'm still going to move like I'm single until
It's because like I want you to
exclusive.
know you have all these options and do all these options and then still choose me. I don't want you to be so like, oh, like it's only you I'm talking to and that's what I expect from you. Because then I think like you start expecting things of people and then it starts getting like even more serious. Sorry?
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure for
Yeah.
someone. But obviously if you're ready for it, then the pressure is not pressure, which I get.
I mean, I think it's just for me a time and energy thing. And it's like, if I'm going to give you free time, it's because I have very little free time. I'm going to spend it on you and I'm not going to, you know, I don't have enough time to spend it on many people. So it's like, okay, I'm giving it to you. It's an honor. And like I said, until it's exclusive, we both move like we're single, but I personally won't be actively pursuing other things. I might be whatever, texting whoever already exists. You know what I mean?
I don't know if
but
it's so
I'm
much
not
like a
actively
time thing. Like I don't think
pursuing.
it changes anything if you're one choosing to just go on several dates with one person versus the same time management and just like
Well, it's like if I have like
going
one day
on
a week, if I have like, let's say 1 day a week that I have like free time
but
to
in
go
the
on a
month
date.
you're doing 4 versus that same one every
But that's what I'm
month.
saying.
It's the same thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like if I connect with you, why would I only see you once a month than giving it a chance and seeing you once a week?
No, for sure.
That's where I'm saying the time thing. It's like, okay, well, I like you. I'd be down to see where this goes instead of like wasting my free time. Like, why don't I see where this goes and give you my time? But the thing is like, that's my thing is I'm not giving in the expectation that I'm going to receive necessarily the equal in return or whatever, but like I'm giving for myself. So it's like, I want to spend time with you. I like you. I connect with you. And like I said in the past, like for me, like to have like a sexual
Emotional connection.
I need an emotional connection to be like attracted to you.
For sure, but
So-
that doesn't change anything. Like
No, I
me
know.
too.
But I'm saying like I can't have an emotional connection with multiple people at the same time. So for me to feel that attraction to you, it needs to be one person at the same time. Do you get what I'm saying? Because once I start exploring my options, I always end up only being attracted to one person because I'm only connected to one person. So I'm trying to explore other options, but I don't actually really care. And I'm only doing it to keep my options open. When in reality, what I'd like to do is just give my time to that one person,
Gotcha.
see where it goes. But I think you also have to have the mindset where if it doesn't go where you want it to go, then that's okay. You
For
start
sure.
back,
That's another
and
thing I
that's
wanted to
how I
talk
am.
about. Like you're strong enough to be like, oh,
Yeah.
that's fine. If it doesn't
Move
work
on.
out, move on.
And I'm really good on my own. So
Yeah.
like I said, it's not, okay, you're not good, on to the next. It's
No,
like,
no,
oh, we're
for
not
sure.
good. I'm just going to go back to doing whatever I was doing before.
No, absolutely. I just think for me, like I actually genuinely like enjoy
Mm-hmm.
talking to different guys. Like, and I know it sounds very hoary. Like
No,
just
it doesn't.
like just the way it's being said and the way I'm talking today, it seems very like I allow everyone in, and it's like no, I'm actually very, very picky.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to settle down until I know that this is the right person. And I think,
But I think that's why you do it.
why? Because I go.
Because you are picky.
What do you mean?
I think you're so picky that like you're like, I'm not gonna settle down for anyone unless you're like exactly what I'm looking for. So like I'm gonna see in everyone if you're who I'm looking for before like actually giving you a chance. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's I feel like comes from a place of actually being very picky in the sense
But like,
of like
I'm not picky. I think I just know what I want. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like when I'm getting to know different people, I'm like, well, do you have that? Okay, let's give it a chance. No, you don't. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
next. It's not that I'm like, I don't think it's like we say, like I'm picky, but I also like I'm okay with not having certain things. I think I just want like the basics. Like I
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
want well, I don't know if I want the basics,
listen, I wouldn't say basics, but
but like to me, it's basics.
yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, I think like whatever works for you works for you. And I
Yeah.
think some people might watch and be like, fuck, I should date like multiple guys at the same time. But then like at the end of the day, if it doesn't make you feel good, don't do it.
Yeah.
So for me, it puts my energy down when I'm giving my too much energy to too many people. It
Yeah.
really makes me feel shit. So I don't do it, and I
so
just
me, it's
prefer
the
to focus
opposite.
on
If I
someone.
put all my energy into one person, that makes me feel down.
and-
Because when I'm giving my energy to a few more people, I feel like I'm not fully in anything. So I'm fully, completely like not really caring about anything.
Yeah.
So I'm really like on my grind. I'm doing my thing. And it's like, yeah, cool. I'm not really investing in anyone really. So
Right.
yeah, like I guess what you're saying is like I'm kind of from the surface.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the best stage because it's like I'm getting to know you. I know what you are, what you have, and like I'm basing it off of like what it would be if I could
Committed to you.
if I committed to you. So it's like
Right.
I'm seeing it from a bird's eye, but from several views, and it's like I kind of know the options there, but then unless I feel 100% connected to you and you feel 100% connected to me and we make that decision, then you're still going to just be someone I'm talking to. And I don't want to have like all those feelings and then like hurt myself.
Right.
When like I can be at the bird's eye view where I'm just like chilling, doing my thing. I'm not investing and focusing so much, because when you focus and invest so much on one person, you end up actually not doing anything with your days because you're just like you're so like mesmerized with like the situation, what he last said to you, and like
Yeah.
you're just struggling with like what does that mean and this and that. When you're talking to many people and you're focusing on your
You
life
don't
and
have
doing
the
your
ener-
things,
time to do
you
that.
don't have that time. So it's like sometimes we say we don't have time to talk to several people, but it's more time to just talk
Focus
to
on one. Yeah.
So
and
look,
I do
it,
agree.
it goes back and forth. It's like, and I totally agree with all of what you're saying. And it's like, I hear you talking and I go, wifey material, you know? And I listen to myself and I'm like, I know I'm wifey material, but the way it sounds.
It's not. It's just a different way of like doing things. And like I said, it's whatever works for you. And that's
Yeah.
why like I can agree with everything you're saying, but it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
And you can agree with everything that I'm saying and it just doesn't work for you. It's really about what makes you feel good. And I've tried to do both. And in the end, I always end up just like focusing on one
Yeah.
person. But I do
But
think
I say all this, but then when I'm really interested in
Yeah.
someone, yeah,
you
for sure.
inevitably end up.
I do the same thing as you, but that's once I know and I feel like the connection is strong enough that all those other people, I don't care what qualities they have.
So
I
then
don't-
maybe that's where we're different is I don't even give somebody the time of day until I know like we're like I really know easily if we're gonna connect or not. So I think that's where it is. That like you're saying, like as soon as I know like we're connected, then I don't even care about anyone else. I
Yeah.
think I know very early on if we're gonna connect or not, and I'm able to be like, okay, like I'm good. Does it, you get what I'm saying?
yeah, but I feel like I'm like that too.
I don't know, because I can
Yeah.
feel right away, like, because like I said, I'm very like it's very hard to like get to me and impress me. But then when you do impress me, then I'm like very interested.
Yeah.
Also be too like the way that I meet people is different from you. So like in the past, everyone I've spoken to, I'm very like, until you don't talk to me in real life or we have a conversation, you don't exist to me. So I've very not often done a date where like I didn't know someone before, and like I feel like you like talk to a lot of guys from different cities, and like that's different too. Like it's very like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's different ways of
It's
dating.
very different.
I'm like, I need to know you already, need to have a conversation with you.
Yeah.
And that way I have that idea. Okay, we do connect. We are going to connect. Like at least one date, whatever, in real life. And then I could know.
Yeah.
Whereas,
and
like,
I
know for-
thrive off like the mystery of
Yeah.
being like, oh
So
my
that's
God.
where I think, that's why I'm saying I think I connect quicker because of the way I meet people. I know right off the bat. So
Yeah.
if you even get past that point, then I know for sure we're going to connect, and I will give you a chance, and I will give you only my energy.
Yeah.
But I also think it takes a certain character to be able to not expect something out of it and be like, I'm good on my own. I'm going to see this through. That's the risk too in doing that. Like,
For
yeah,
sure.
sometimes you might get hurt. Yeah, sometimes you might get disappointed. And
In
that's
both
just,
though.
that's just what happens. So at the end of the day, like I'd rather just see things through, and if they don't work out, they don't work out. Then like for me, waste so much energy that makes me feel like shit,
Yeah.
and then maybe not have anyone at all. You
Yeah,
know?
I was listening to this TikTok and this guy was like, men always think that they're the players and they're the ones like that are, you know, talking to so many girls and they have like all these people and this whole roster. And he's like, man, girls be playing men too. Like, don't worry. Women are very good at like, you know, talking to several people
yeah.
and making you feel like, you know,
You're the only one.
you're the only one. And it's like, we always think it's men who are doing that, but it's also women.
Yeah.
And I think we're so good at it because we're good at being, you know, CSI agents. We know like what a guy will say that'll make us think, okay, he's talking to another girl. But like men don't think that in depth when they think of things.
Or they just assume that you're not.
They just assume that like I'm the chosen one, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like you don't know which character you're getting. Are you getting me or you're getting Veronica?
100%.
I think when you find the one, you end up closing all the baskets. And
I think
when you really like someone, eventually, you know, like I think everyone has a different kind of method of how they kind of just like close the other bridges and like start the new path. But I just, I'm stuck in my ways. I think that you shouldn't give someone your full attention until they, you know, give you a reason to.
Yeah. And I do get that. And like I said, I agree with a lot of the things that you said. It just doesn't work for me. And like, at the end of the day, guys, like just do what works for you and do whatever makes you feel good.
I was talking to one of my friends and they were saying how right now they're looking for a relationship. Like that's exactly what they want and they don't want to waste time anymore. So they were saying how when they first start talking to someone now, at the beginning, they're going to ask them straight off the bat, what are you looking for out of this? Because I'm looking for a relationship and I don't want to waste your time or waste my time to continue talking to you. What do you think about being direct on like the first date right away?
So I think when you know what you want somebody that also knows what they want. But I do think that energy
could come off scary.
Could not only come off scary, but might lose out on opportunities that you could have had. Because I've had a lot of situations where I went into them thinking I wanted something completely different, which what ended up happening, you know, like thinking I don't want a relationship at all, and then ending up really connecting with that person, and you know, it just continued until like we actually ended up getting into a relationship. So it's very hard to like know, but I think when you're on the opposite side of it and you really want a relationship, I think it's better to be direct and be like, do you want a relationship or not? Because I think that energy should also have the same energy of I'm also really looking for a relationship. Whereas the like I'm not looking for a relationship sometimes can be swayed. But I think it's like a little harder when you're really interested in a relationship to be with somebody who's kind of just seeing how it goes. I feel like if that seeing how it goes works with someone else who's seeing how it goes. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I think my mind kind of goes both ways with this. When I think about it, I'm like, no, I love the fact that you're like, I know what I want. I'm going after it. If you're not on the same page as me, that's totally fine. Let's have a good date and that's it. But another part of me is sometimes like, people are not closed off to the idea. They just don't want to be tied down and feel like, well, they got to make a decision right now. Exactly. So like, tell me, is that what you're looking for? But so I don't know if like saying it on a first date is a bit scary, but also if somebody's also really looking for a relationship, then I don't think they would get scared of the idea of that.
That's what I was gonna say.
Or like but also like a lot of fuckboys will be like, no, if the right person comes, I'm ready. Yeah, okay. But hello, I'm right here. I'm the right person.
It's hard because I feel like a lot of people feel pressured in that question and might just say, yeah, like I'll see how it goes. And then maybe they don't actually do so.
Yeah, I think people just need to be more honest. I think a lot of times men and women, or mostly men, they're trying to fuck. So they're going to tell you what you want to hear. But it's like, look at their actions and the things they're doing in order to like see if it's actually something they want or if they're just trying to get in your pants.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's important to be pursuing things that like also the other person wants to pursue, but like sometimes things happen and it's not what they were looking for, but the right person comes around and it just works. Yeah. So it's so hard. Dating these days is really hard, especially with like dating apps and so many options. Like, it's very difficult.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But moving on to our next topic. So we wanted to talk about, you know, dating when you're single versus like dating when you're in a relationship, and specifically like going on a trip with friends who are single and when you're in a relationship.
Stay home.
So I feel like I find it's crazy because in this day and age, it's almost seen as like bad when you have boundaries in your relationship. So I feel like we've come to the point where it's like, if your man will like tell you like, hey, like I wouldn't appreciate if you would do this, or like this would bother me, or like this would,
then she's whipped.
Then it's like like she's whipped, like what the fuck, your boyfriend's telling you what to do, like which I don't agree with. I actually think like in every relationship, like there should be boundaries, and like you should have like a, hey, this is okay to do, hey, this is not okay to do, and for everyone it's different. And yeah, fuck, there's some times where it's like, okay, you know, you can't go out in public. Like, yeah, that's crazy. But like asking for certain things sometimes just makes sense. Like, I get it. I get why you wouldn't want me to go in this certain situation, or why you wouldn't want me going to after parties or going on like.
So let's
dive right in. When I was in college, I used to always go to this one business school because I knew that they had to wear suits for like their presentations. So there was always like hot guys in suits at the college. And that just goes to say that guys in suits are always hotter.
I mean, I can't disagree with that.
100%. And if you are not a man in a suit and you want to be, check out izotti.com and get yourself a custom tailor-made Italian-made bespoke suit. Put in your measurements and get a perfectly fitted suit for you. And you're probably going to get all the ladies, but like, don't quote me on it, but like probably.
And I mean, we're going to help you out with that because, you know, us ladies, we're so good. We have a discount code. Yeah, we're so generous here on the Chemical X podcast. So use our discount code Chemical X at checkout to receive 20% off your first order or your 35th order. It's not how many suits you have. It's how well it fits, folks. So you're in a relationship. You're going on a trip with all your single ladies, okay? And now your boyfriend obviously trusts you. So he's like, you can go on the trip, have fun, enjoy the time with your friends. What is acceptable to do and what is not acceptable to do?
So I can only speak really for myself.
Yeah.
And I also think that my friend group is not the norm of like, and like that's also I find really hard in relationships.
Oh my God.
Is like because our friend group is not
I would agree with
necessarily
that.
the normal mindset. Like sometimes our friend group will be like, oh, well, why aren't you allowed to go for a dinner that's paid by another guy? It's like, I get it. I get how we see it. But like also I can understand why somebody wouldn't want that, and like why in general people wouldn't put themselves in those positions if they're in a relationship. Do you get what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying for sure.
So I really think that we have like a friendship that has a different mindset and sees a lot of things as like fine. And it's kind of hard to convince them that like, hey, this is probably not okay to do in a relationship.
For sure.
You
And
know?
I think really depending on like who you're dating, you know, like I have a girlfriend, her boyfriend's like, babe, you don't have to lie to me if you're going with your friends who are going on a dinner that's paid. Go enjoy the free dinner. Like I'm not there. Like I rather you don't pay, but like you have to have boundaries, limits. Like you're not going to an after party with them and like, you know what I mean? Staying up till 3 a.m. with them. Like what purpose are you there for?
Yeah,
You know
like,
what I mean?
why?
Like you have your man, like go home. You did the dinner. You know what I mean? You maybe went to the club, you stayed a bit and then you went home, or you stayed at the club the entire time. I don't know your relationship, what you have going on, but I definitely think there needs to be boundaries.
Yeah.
We can't just be us women like we don't want our men to do this, and this, and then all of a sudden we're there like staying at an after party till 3.
Right.
I don't think that that's like healthy.
No. And like I think the whole thing about like the dinner, it's like, look, as girls, especially going on vacations, let's say Miami, you know, like everyone's worst fear, their girl going to Miami.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the culture there is very much so like, oh, you go on a dinner, like somebody's gonna pay, like
I
a
don't
guy's
even think
gonna
the
pay
bills come as separate. Like
it's just like that's what tends to happen. So it's like maybe to give like an insight on my mindset, it's like, look, I'm going with my 4 girls. Let's say like there's 2 guys that like invite us out to us 4 girls to go for dinner. I would find it less bad. I would probably tell them like, hey, yeah, like these people invited us out. Like they're probably going to pay the dinner. Like, is that cool with you? Like for me, it's not, I'm obviously not interested in any of these people. I have a boyfriend.
Yeah. Are you having that conversation every night? I'm just trying to give people like the vibe.
I get the boundary. Like, are you cool if this situation is happening?
Gotcha.
But where it wouldn't be cool and I would be like, I'm not going to do this is, let's say it's 2 guys and it's me and my friend.
Yeah.
That I wouldn't do. Cause that's like, well, now it's like, what? He's interested in you. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
That would be weird for me. And that's something that I'd be like, okay, I'm not doing that because it's a bit weird. Even like 3 girls, 2 guys is very like, ooh, even at that is kind of iffy. But if it's like a group setting and like you're with a lot of people and like it just so happens that like they're paying the dinner and they invited you guys out to go out and all your friends are single, like I get it. Like it is what it is.
I totally agree with you. If it's 2 people and you're going, it's like, what's going on here?
What's
like,
going on? Why are you even entertaining?
Why are you even entertaining it? Exactly.
And the same thing would go for me, like also going out. Like, look, you're going out in a club as a girl. People are going to invite you to their table.
Let's be real.
Let's be real. Like, I'm there for the drinks. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm not going to make all my friends not get their free drinks because I have to go stand by the bar. Like, we all know the situation here. You know what I mean?
You're taking the drinks from the guys also. Like,
Yeah.
let's be real. We're in Miami.
Like,
drinks are...
That's what I'm saying. It's like my intentions are I don't give a fuck about these people. My friends want to party with them. No problem. I'm not going to entertain anyone, and everyone's going to know that I have a boyfriend, and that's okay. And that's cool.
Yeah.
And I don't see that as bad. Again, it's just like the dynamic of the situation. Is it two guys inviting us over and it's us two that have to go? Then it's like, oh, I feel a bit uncomfortable in this situation. Like, I have to entertain somebody that I don't want to entertain. You know what I mean?
Honestly, on the same
so
vibe with
that's
you
what
with
I
that.
see. Also, like, you know, every guy's worst fear, your girl going on a yacht. Your girl going on a yacht. What do you think? Is that chill or not chill?
I think it also depends the setting again. Like, for example, our friend's boyfriend is getting us getting a yacht for one of the days that we're gonna be there. Like, it's her boyfriend. Like, obviously we're all gonna go. There's no like his friends. I don't even know if they're coming. Like, I think it's just like us and him. It's like, it's one guy. It's all of us. Whatever. I don't know. It's tough.
It's tough. That situation, I agree. It's like, oh, like all the friends were going on a yacht.
But then it's also like, what makes a yacht so different than being in a club with a bunch of people that you're sharing the same bottle?
Because I just think it's different because it's like tends to be like a group of guys inviting all these girls as options in a way. I know how the yachts are in Miami. Like, it's different. Look, is it a friend that's inviting us on? Us girls,
I'm trying to think.
Or if it's like a group of guys
if you're going with a promoter who's like, bring the girls. Yeah, no. But I think if it's like one of our friends and even he's bringing his friends.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That I don't find bad.
Okay.
If it's like that's what I'm saying, like a promoter boat where it's like, bring the girls, get the girls. Like, we want the girls on the boat. Like, that is like, like, if in a relationship, like, am I there? And like, I think it's also like,
I don't know. That one is like, it's tough because it's like, if you trust me, you know, like, I'm literally just going on. Hopefully they have a servant who's bringing food and stuff. And like, I'm eating and I'm out. Like, I'm just having fun with my girls. But it gets tricky when it's like, you're the only options to choose from.
Yes.
Then it's like,
but then again, it's
like, then you start feeling like, why am I here? Like, who brought this girl who's not single? You know, it could get very like that. But when there's so many girls, and it's like, nobody even sees you. Like, because there's so many girls, it's like...
I hear you, but like, how does that make your man feel? Would I want my guy on a boat that like, it's a girl's bachelorette party and they invite all these hot guys? Obviously, that's never going to happen. But like...
Because he's not allowed.
Like, we think a lot about like, oh yeah, but I'm in this situation and I know that I don't want anyone. But like, how does your man feel at home knowing that you're on a yacht with a bunch of guys and a bunch of girls? Like, even though you know that you're not going to do anything bad, it's putting your guy in a situation that makes him feel like shit. And I wouldn't want somebody feeling like shit because I don't want to be put in a position where I feel like shit.
Got it.
Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree with you.
I also
it's
think,
really tricky though, this whole thing. It's very, and that's why I think we're talking about it, is because there's so many things that are considered not alone. Like,
I think, look, you need to be the right type of person and you need to talk about boundaries. But I also think it depends who you're with. And it's like, when you're with somebody that you're like, this is my husband, you're not like, oh, fuck, I'm missing the yacht day. You're like, no. You know what? I don't need to do this.
No,
like,
for sure.
If I'm with somebody that I'm like, I know that like, you're my, like, wow, I do not want to lose you. You're my husband. I have no problem
for
being
sure.
like, I don't want to go. And I'm genuinely not even going to feel bad about it because I'm like, I'm not going to lose out on like this really amazing thing that I have.
For a fucking boat.
For a boat that I know is not bringing me anything. Yeah, it might be a fun day, but I've had a lot of sick fucking days in my life. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm deprived and I've never been partying on a yacht. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I 100% agree with you. So when you're in that
position where you have something really good, you're a lot more like, I really don't even care to miss this. And if I got to miss out on the dinner, if I got to miss out on the yacht, I will, because I know that this long term, if I'm going to be like, if this is my husband, it doesn't matter of this fucking one day, this one yacht in the grand scheme of things. Yeah. Do I want to jeopardize this for that one experience? You know what I mean?
Yeah. But and my only thing with a yacht is, why do yachts make men so uncomfortable? Because if you if you really think about it, I don't know how different a yacht makes it than, like, let's say, for example, you're going to Vegas, you know, and you're going to be plastered 3 a.m. with a bunch of fucking people. Like,
look, it's the bikinis. You're obviously, when you're in a club, you're clothed. on a yacht. You're in a little bikini.
Okay, yeah.
There's a lot more, it's a lot more
No, for sure.
intimate. It's daytime, it's drinking, it's in the ocean, you're with those people. In a club, you have the freedom to leave at any point you want to leave, to go
It's
talk
true.
to other people, to go to
That's
the park.
the thing with a
the
yacht.
bar if
You're
you feel
fucking stuck
uncomfortable.
on.
You're stuck. And
You
it's
can't
like,
have plans later. Like the boat, when it gets on, it gets on. And when it
that's what I'm
gets off.
saying. And if you're uncomfortable in a situation, if somebody's hitting on you, you
Yeah.
have nowhere to go. You have to entertain that guy.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it is a little bit different from
Yeah.
a club where you have, okay, you may spend 30 minutes with these guys who are giving you drinks, but you could also walk away and leave whenever
For
you
sure.
want.
Just quickly, I know I spoke about it on the podcast. I had went a long time ago to Miami with my girlfriends. 2 of us were single. 2 of us were in relationships. We really wanted to go on the boat. They really wanted to come, but they felt uncomfortable at the same time because of their boyfriends. But they ended up coming, and then they were like, maybe this is a bad idea, but they were already on the boat. The boat took off by the time they had a chance to get off the boat. And then they stayed on. They got in arguments with their boyfriend. So it's very common yacht, arguments.
Yeah, the argument.
But they said that they would never trade it for the world because they were so. It also depends the experience,
Yeah.
the guys weren't like hitting on them. They were able to do their thing. But like if we're talking like the Miami yachts, the like promoter ratchet, how well can you twerk yachts, for sure. But honestly, the older I get, I don't want that kind of yacht anyways.
No.
That's the thing. It's like whether you're in a relationship or not, I feel like your friends still kind of want the same things. Like I don't care to go out with a promoter. I want to do like let's say, for example, my girlfriend's boyfriend wants to get a yacht and he wants to bring his friends. That's way more up my alley because I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
You have already been like,
Vetted.
yeah, like
But that I think is chill.
that's chill, because it's like,
It's my friend's boyfriend that's bringing us out. Like,
yeah,
that I think.
But then
is
you
chill.
don't think your man would get mad at that, considering he's bringing his friends? Like, isn't that ish could be bad too?
I mean, I think in that situation, it's like they know who's coming, they know who has a boyfriend. Whereas in the other situations, you also to a certain degree have to pretend like you're single because like you don't really want.
Absolutely.
People don't want people in relationships there. So you almost have to play this whole like I'm single, but I'm just not interested.
Yeah.
And like to have to be like that is kind of dishonest and makes the person you're with feels shitty. Whereas in a situation where people know like, oh, this girl's coming, but she has a boyfriend, but like da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Like everybody knows right off the bat, like you have a boyfriend. So like it's fine because it's a friendly setting.
I 100% could not agree more. It's like, it's exactly that.
And I think when I'm put into situations where I have to pretend like I'm single, that's when I feel uncomfortable.
I get it.
Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for
when
sure.
I have to feel like I have to hide the fact that I'm in a relationship, then I start to feel uncomfortable. Then I start to feel like maybe I shouldn't be doing this if I have to like play off that I'm single.
Yeah. No, I totally get what you're saying. I think it could be a very uncomfortable situation and no one should like have to go through that. And I think sometimes the friend that you'll be with will be like, shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Like, don't say anything. Like, we don't want it to like, be a thing.
And that's why I rather sit it out.
Yeah.
I would rather be like, guys, go have fun. Because I have
Look,
no
I want to
problem.
talk about the person who has the FOMO of missing out, but then is still at the same time trying to be respectful to the boyfriend. So comes, but is miserable and fighting with their man. Babe, stay home. You're actually doing everyone
a disservice.
a disservice.
I truly believe, and the thing is, I'm the type of person where I have no problem when I make a decision for myself. Like, I don't really want to do this. I have no problem sitting it out.
I just don't like when friends make you feel shitty about it.
No, but I
like
would
that's
never.
like, wait, what? Like, you're not gonna come, but Veronica,
But that's
you're
what I'm
not gonna do
saying.
anything. And then they kind of look at you like,
Well, you mean you're not going to come?
and it's normally people who just like never really had like a serious relationship or never really saw the value in something long term or take your relationship as a joke.
right,
And it's
that's
so
difficult.
disrespectful.
It's really
because it's like
difficult
at the
too.
end of the day, we're all looking for love. And just because you're single and you're living your best life doesn't mean you have to rain on someone's parade because they're choosing to be like respectful in a relationship and like they have boundaries. Like if
Yeah.
anything, you should be like, wow, like, you know
I
what I
respect
mean?
that.
And it's like sometimes people just don't understand it until they go through it.
And that's what I really don't like.
Yeah.
That's why for me, like if I'm going on a trip with friends that are also single, and I'm not, it puts you in that really hard position of like having to be the one to be like, okay, guys, I'm going to sit this one out. I'm good. But like, just don't make me feel bad for doing something that I know is actually the right thing to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to be put in that situation.
I think your character is really good where it's like, I'll sit this one out and like no one's feeling like, fuck, we left Veronica behind. Like shit. Like I hope she's going to be okay because you're good on your own. And like, I would be the same way. I'd be like, I'll do something else. Like I'm fine. I'm going to go see like my other girl who's here. I'll make other plans. I won't take it personal, you know?
No.
But I think sometimes it's like, if you go with single friends, I think as a single friend, when you get mad at someone for wanting to do something because you don't have the ability to do it, and then it's like you're also at the same time holding me back from doing it.
Yes.
That's where I get aggravated. I'm like, it's a free world. You could do whatever you want. You could choose to come. You could choose to stay. I don't care. I respect your decision. But if you're going to try and like manipulate me and make me feel like I shouldn't do something because like you want to be with me, and you can't come there, so like I need to change my plans around, like that's where I'm like, well, that's shitty. That's not really a good friend.
Yeah. And also,
you know what I mean?
like, yeah, I totally agree. Like, nobody shouldn't be imposing their, on both sides, nobody should be imposing
it
their
has to
decisions.
go both ways.
Because it's like, look, when you're single, you do what you want. And when you're in a relationship, you do what you want. You need to both respect each other's boundaries. And that's why I think I wouldn't go on a trip with somebody that's single. We're two people. I'm in a relationship. You're single. I wouldn't do that. Because then, unless you pre-talk about like, hey, look, if you want to do something, you're going to have to do it by yourself, and you're going to have to be okay doing it by yourself. But for the most part, people are not down to do that. And that's why I wouldn't do that. Like, it's much better when you're like three, you know, maybe 3 people, 4 people. That way, it's like if one person wants to sit it out, it's cool because there's somebody else that can go and do that thing with you.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're just 2, you tend to have to be like, okay, well, I'm going to wing woman you, or like, I'm going to come with you to this place because like you're single and I'm not. So like, but like we're on this trip together. So like I kind of have to be put in these uncomfortable situations because what, I'm going to let you go to the after party alone? Like, no, you get what I'm saying? So like, that's why I probably wouldn't go on a trip where it's like just you two, because then I don't want to make you feel like you would have to sit something out, and you wouldn't want to make me feel like I have to sit something out.
Yeah. And no, 100%. And also like, for example, I've had this happen to me too. It's like, I'm eating dinner with my girlfriends, and then after I'm like, guys, like I'm actually going to go for drinks with this guy I'm talking to. And they're like, what do you mean? No, you're coming to the club with us. Like you're doing something with us. And it's like, actually, I'm not down for the club. I actually don't want to go to the club. I just want to go for drinks. And it's like, what do you mean? Like it's a whole thing. I think people just need to respect what someone wants to do. And it's like, yeah, this date could go fucking nowhere, but no offense, I see you bitches all the time. If I want to see you the next time, I know you're still there. Like I think we just have to respect when someone wants to do something and just doesn't. Exactly.
I just think you have to respect both sides, and it does feel really shit going on a trip with people that you do know like don't understand the other mindset of like being in a relationship, or like you said, don't value a long-term thing, or don't like take your relationship seriously. And like obviously that's something, and like
I respect like if you were to be saying I can't come to that, I'd be like, oh, for sure. Yeah. I know, like I put myself in your situation, and I'm dating somebody, and I know like my man wouldn't feel comfortable with certain things, and I would step out of, you know, sometimes you just don't have to do everything. And especially we're living in a world like you're going out, to have fun, but the idea is kind of to meet someone. So think about when someone actually met someone, why would they still be going to these after parties? Why would they still be doing all these things that internally are not bringing them anything? Yeah.
And it's like, look, I like to eat, I like to party. I'm going to do both of those things, relationship or not relationship. Where I'm going to set boundaries is when it comes to like doing things that, like I said, have to make me feel like I need to act like I'm single, or put in a position where it's like, you know, kind of a weird dynamic, and like any of those situations, you know? So I just think it's about like understanding. I also think, guys, if you're in a relationship where you're not even allowed to step out of the house and like that's a problem, don't go on. Like, look, also understand the type of relationship you are, and don't impose that on your friends.
That's what I was talking about.
Don't be the type of person who has a partner that is really fucking jealous, and you know that, and be like, okay, guys, I'm coming on the trip with you because now we all know that it's like, like you're gonna be you're that one friend that's fighting on the phone every time you come home from going shopping. You know, it's like, who did you meet while you were shopping? Like, don't bring that energy. If you know that you're in that kind of relationship, bro, go on a trip with your boy.
Holy
That's it.
shit.
You agree though? Because like I could say what I'm saying, but like also there's certain people that should not be going on trips with their single friends.
100%. Like, for example, my girlfriend now, she's in a relationship and she's also going to be in Miami at the same time. And she was already like, guys, like, don't forget about me just because like I'm there with my man. Like, I obviously still want to do dinners with you and stuff. And like, I know how it gets because there was a time where she was single.
Yeah.
She was in that hotel room. It's next club, another club. And it's like, it's hard even to message my best friend and be like, we're going here. And
Yeah.
it's not a mean thing. It's just like, let us know what you want to be a part of and come, you
Yeah.
know, it has nothing to do with like, I'm like, message us too. You know, I don't want you to start hating me because we didn't invite you, but like, you're obviously more than welcome to come, you know? So I get the feeling on both ends
The
too,
trickiness
though.
for sure.
Yeah.
Look, it is a really tricky thing. And like we said, that's why we're talking about it. There's so many nuances. There's so many little like, oh, but this is wrong.
Do you want to add any more before we close this off? So yachts, okay. Fucking after parties, go the fuck home. Like, bro,
go home. Yeah,
go home.
House parties though, different story.
House parties.
Like not an after party. Like it's a house party. Like somebody's throwing a house party and you're just like attending the party.
Okay, but like, you know what? House parties really give me a lot of anxiety. Like,
really?
it's
Okay, I
so,
didn't know I pulled up a...
no, it's so weird to me, but like, I feel like house parties, like, hits different than going to a club. Maybe we can
More
unpack that.
intimate for sure.
I feel like at a house party, like, the lights are on, you see a hot girl, and it's like, someone could just come up to you, be my beer pong partner.
Oh,
like,
you're right. My man's not allowed to go to house parties.
house parties give me so much anxiety.
Yeah, no, I get
A
that.
club, everything's dark, whatever. They don't give a shit to really get to know a girl. But a house party, when you have the time to chit chat, get to know each other.
Depends the house party though, but I will say what's scary about house parties is a house party could be 50, 100 people, or it could be like 10.
15.
100%.
Yeah.
And then it's like, and then suddenly you're one of the ones on the roster.
And
Like,
you know what it is about house parties that's really scary? Everyone is somewhat linked, friends, cousins.
Yeah.
So like you find a hot guy hot, like all you need to ask is your friend to link up to the cousin. Like it's very easy.
Yeah.
It's not the same. We've
What
been
else?
doing it wrong this whole time,
What
guys.
else?
We've been scared of clubs, but it's
It's house
really house
parties.
parties.
What else do you think is like something that you wouldn't do if you're in a relationship?
I mean, I think if I'm in a relationship, I probably won't. Is there any other one? I think we said like
The main ones.
what else is there? I'm trying to think.
I think it's just more so like getting invited to do things where you have to be single or you're matched up to someone or you know it's not a
Yeah.
big group setting. I think
What about a strip club?
I mean same thing as a club.
Okay, people are going, it's
Yeah.
not the same thing.
I don't know. I think it's the same thing as a club. I do get though, like as a guy, if your girl is going on a trip with all her single friends, like that's like, cause that's like if you see your man going on a trip with all his single friends, you're like, fuck, man. But
Yeah.
I think though it's a bit different because girls go on like when girls go out, it's like we said, like girls go out to be the girls and like yeah, they'll get invited and like for bottles and stuff and like drinks, but like chances are like 95% of the time they don't actually care about the people at that table, whereas when guys go out, they go out to get girls and like the single friends will probably be like inviting girls over to take those drinks and like actually
Yeah.
trying to pursue them.
Yeah, last question. Do you find it a red flag if, let's say, you're dating a guy and all his friends are like known cheaters? Like they cheat. They're in the group and you know your man's like a loyal one, but you know his surroundings are blurred.
I wouldn't like that at all. I don't think I'd be okay
But
with
would
that.
you not date them even though you know you're dating someone who's like very committed, you know what you have, you're loyal?
Look, somebody who's unloyal to their partner, especially like their wife, you know, like a serious partner, that's not a loyal person to you. It's not a loyal person as a friend. It's not a loyal person in business because they're willing to fuck over the love of their life. They're going to fuck you over too. So that's just not a loyal person in general. So why are you surrounding yourself with so many people that are unloyal? What are your values that you're okay being around all these people that you don't actually 100% trust? Because how could you 100% trust somebody that's literally fucking over somebody that they're committed to, like married to, let's say.
Yeah, I'm going to rebuttal that. I totally agree with you. I feel like there's certain things about friends I have that I don't necessarily like, but I will still keep around because they bring me some kind of joy.
Something. Yeah.
Some kind of joy in different like parts of my life. I'll keep you around because you do bring value to my life. I just know what doesn't work for me, and I'll just like scale it back in that sense.
Yes.
So do you think it could kind of be the same thing with like
I get what you're saying.
like you could not agree with everything, you know, your friends are doing, but still be friends with them because there are certain things you like about them?
Yes, but if every single one of your friends are cheaters, you're gonna be obviously going out with those people, and like I want to be able to trust you, and you watch them actively do that, and like are kind of in on the cheating. And look, it's one thing to have one or two friends that cheat, and like, look, everybody makes their own decisions. It is what it is. You don't agree with it, that's fine. But if everyone around you does not value their relationships, at some point that line will get blurred, and you're going to be so normalized to like, oh, look, all these people cheat on their girlfriends and it's so easy to get away with it. At some point, you're way more likely to cheat because you're so normalized. It's so normalized for you. You know what I mean?
And the guys almost feel like a loser because they're like, wow,
you're actually loyal.
Like, this pussy won't even do it.
Yes.
At a point, he's going to be like, to show the boys, like, I could.
But like, whereas let's say a guy, it has a very loyal friend group, if he would go and cheat, everyone in that friend group would be like, what the fuck, bro? Like, you cheated on your girl. And I think that just keeps that extra layer of like protection of like, maybe you might have a weak moment, but at least your boys will be there to be like, yo, what are you doing? You have a good girl and you love her, and like, chill.
But do you think boys do that? Like, I would love that. I'm looking for that friend group, by the way.
I don't know. I mean, I actually think that there are some guys out there that are like, yo, dude, I think about what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
I do think that there are like type, especially like when a guy has like, you know, like that, like one close, like, you know, that brotherhood kind of friendship where they're like very close for a long time. And like, it's like if a guy knows that he has a good girl, like, I don't think that their best friend, somebody that's truly a good friend to them, would watch them sabotage it without at least trying to be like, hey, do you know what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, are you sure you want to do this? Maybe I'm not going to stop you, but like, are you sure you want to go through with this?
Yeah.
Have you thought about this? Whereas being friends with a lot of cheaters, they'll likely just be
it's like we said, it's like they'll actually like pin you as such like a pussy if you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So the verdict is you're allowed to go to Miami. You're allowed to go with your friends as long as you communicate. Everyone knows the boundaries. If you are single or in a relationship, that you know when it's time to step in, step out, and we're Gucci.
And make sure that your friends
and yachts
know
are
that.
only allowed if you are friends with the people on the boat, which I actually fully agree with.
Yeah. You think like
I agree.
think that's a good like line to not cross, you know. It is what it is. So would you go on a trip with a bunch of single friends if you're the only one in the relationship?
Yeah. It's definitely harder.
It's harder. And like, no one wants to be the friend that's like,
and that's the thing. It's like, I want to try and be so cool. And I have friends who like are in relationships, but they try and show that they're almost so single to just like make everyone feel comfortable that they're there and happy.
I think I'm kind of like that, actually.
It's and I actually feel bad sometimes. I'm like, shit, man.
Like,
fuck. Like, I feel bad. I get it. But I get it because I've been there.
Yeah. You don't want to be the one that's in the relationship. But like, I think it also depends the relationship you're in. And like, when you're in a relationship that's like, this is what is long term. And this is like a very, like, this is what I want. And this is serious. Then I don't think it'll hurt as much to make the decisions to step things out and to take that sacrifice, because you're like in the if this is my husband and we're gonna get married and have kids, like, why would I jeopardize that for one day at an after party? Let's say, you know. And if you feel so bad about missing this motherfucking after party, then I don't think that that's your husband to begin with.
Right. I'd have to ask you, like, what are your what are your motives? Like, what do you want out of this?
Exactly.
Because when I have a man and I'm like interested in him, to be honest, like, I just want to be like chilling, drinks with him, dinner, and like, I want to go home. Like, I don't feel like I have to show my face everywhere. Exactly. Whereas like when you're single, you're a bit more like, this is me.
This is real.
I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be now. And it's on a yacht, baby.
Anyways, guys, what an episode. I guess date many men and go on yachts. Thank you so much for listening to another week of the Chemical X podcast. So don't forget, subscribe, leave a like, and a comment down below. And see you next week.
Woo! I'm tired, man.